What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Mike Roach podcast. Glad to be back with you. Glad you are with me. It is Friday. You know what we got to do for that? We got to drop a bomb for Fridays, damn it, because TGIF, that's the way it was. That's the way it is now. And that's the way it always will be. On the agenda today, okay? Prime Minister Mark Carney, I want to talk to you about his relationship with Donald Trump. We're going to move on after that and talk a little bit about Kawhi Leonard. And then I want to talk to you about an issue, something that happened, a murder that took place in the city of Toronto, but it has to do with something in regards to culture and culture in Canada. And if that is going to change or stay the same, we will discuss a little bit. But before I get to these topics, a lot of you know me for just talking about the Toronto Raptors in sports, especially my subscribers if you are new. But I am here to say, for those of you who are unfamiliar, I do talk politics from time to time. I do talk culture and things that are just going on around with my culture, your culture, things happening in general in Canada, just things overall. All right. Things that we are dealing with in life. That could be kind of broad. But don't worry, I will explain when the time comes, which will be later on in the show. But I don't want you to get confused, right? I have been riding the wave of the Toronto Raptors, and I'm always going to give you Toronto Raptors content. That is my baby. That is what I love to do. For those of you who have known me for a minute now, you know that I've been, working for the broadcast team for the last decade for the Toronto Raptors. Not the same anymore. Not doing all the games with them this year. I'm working for other teams from time to time with their broadcast team. So I'm still down there from time to time, not all the time anymore. And so I now have more time to do post-game shows about the Toronto Raptors from home, which I'm actually really enjoying, by the way. I am really enjoying it. Looks like you guys are too, because the show has grown a lot in these last couple weeks from doing these post-game shows. And like I mentioned, I have been riding that wave, but don't get it confused, because my first 1,000 subscribers mostly came on the back of politics and other things that I was speaking about aside from sports. So I just want to put that out there so you're not surprised when you see these videos as well. And the reason I do that is because, yes, I did start off in sports, but there are a whole bunch of other things that we have to deal with in society. Politics is a big thing right now, and I enjoy speaking about it. A lot of you enjoy hearing about it. Some of you will send me a message or an email or whatever the case may be, but you'll talk about you enjoy how you like me talking about politics. And so that isn't going away. It's not going away. Yes, I do make a lot of Raptors and basketball content, but I will have as much content as I can give you in regards to all these other subjects as well. And so, with that being said, the first place that I want to talk to you about, the first place I want to start is with Prime Minister Mark Carney and his relationship with President Donald Trump. And the reason I want to start there is because there are a lot of things that are going on right now in regards to, the T word, tariffs. You're going to hear that word a lot over the presidency of Donald Trump. That word tariffs. In regards to Canada, we're going to be talking about that for probably from now until 2028. That's just the way that it seems it's going to be. But I want to start here because it affects a lot of Canadians. And because it affects a lot of Canadians, it affects their overall life, the economy, the way they live, their standard of living, all these different things. And so we're going to touch on that. Now, the other day I did hear Mark Carney at a press conference, and you know what? I'll let you see it for yourself, and then we will discuss from there.
To come back and have the discussions on the trade side, we will have those discussions.
Let's start this from the beginning, please.
In the country of a size not seen.
Since the U.S. called off trade talks with Canada, has Mr. Trump returned your calls, texts, or accepted your apology over the Ontario ad?
He accepted the apology when I spoke to him, and we've had discussions. I've been busy. There's another point, though. I've been busy. We passed a budget with that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of investment. We have launched new trade agreements. We've secured new investment in the country of a size not seen arguably before. So we're busy. He's got other things to do, and we'll re-engage when it's appropriate.
When was the last time you spoke to the president? And as you diversify trade away from the U.S., what's your red line? Like when you, in terms of dealing with other countries, I mean, what are the conditions where you won't do business with another country no matter how much money it has?
Well, I think let me answer the second part of that, which is there's levels of engagement with countries.
Next question.
Who cares? I mean, it's a detail. It's a detail. I spoke to him. I'll speak to him again when it matters.
Now, what you heard viral from a lot of different places on social media is when he said, "Who cares?" Just want to point that out there. Let me continue.
I'm always happy to. Sorry, I slipped into French because I anticipated the en français thing. I look forward to speaking to the president soon, but I don't have a burning issue to speak with the president about right now. When America wants to come back and have the discussions on the trade side, we will have those discussions.
So listen, to me, this one is a double-edged sword, and I'm going to tell you why, at least in my opinion. I understand where the prime minister is coming from in this regard, that you have to begin to diversify your exports out of Canada because you don't know what is going on in regards to the U.S. and their tariffs. Things are all the way up in the air at this point. We don't know what they're going to do. So he is saying is you have to be able to export your goods with other parts of the world. You got to be able to sell elsewhere to make money here. And the problem is that we have depended on the United States for so long that now becomes difficult. 75% of Canadian export goes to the US. That is a lot. You put tariffs on all these different things now, and things begin to change, right? If you look at stuff like the auto industry, for example, it's being decimated right now because of tariffs. A whole bunch of people are losing jobs. Key sectors are losing jobs because of these tariffs. Economic independence, like I just mentioned, 75% of our exports are going to the United States. That could be a problem at some point if you don't diversify. And I think that's what Prime Minister Mark Carney is talking about. You want to be able to curb inflation at the same time. If we're doing all these dealings with the United States and now things become scarce, what is going to happen to the price of the product that we already have? It's going to skyrocket. Geopolitical stability, selling to other places, could that potentially be a problem for the US? If Canada is selling critical minerals to other places in the world, could that be an issue for the US if they're looking at some of these other countries in the world as possibly as a rival to them? Could that be an issue? And we have to look at these as issues at some point if we're going to be real, right? Listen, yesterday they announced Prime Minister Mark Carney and Danielle Smith, the Premier of Alberta, a deal in regards to a pipeline going from Alberta to the coast in BC. Why is that important? Because you want to be able to sell the oil and natural resources that you have to other places in the world, specifically Asia. Big market for them. Big market for us. If you can make money on that side of the world with the resources that you have in the ground, that is something that you're going to do. Especially if you can go around the US, circumvent that, and make money out there instead of having to rely on them. that is something that is going to be big for Canada, big for Alberta, and big for the prime minister. Because listen, I don't know what he was expecting when he got into office in regards to dealing with President Donald Trump, but I'm pretty damn sure it has not been easy for him. And like I mentioned, all of these things affect Canada. Why does it affect Canada? Number one, we told you about the economy. That's a huge thing in multiple different ways. Jobs, obviously. Inflation, obviously. We spoke about those things. But you don't necessarily want to piss the US off either. Why? Let's admit something here, folks. Let's be real here. At some point, we do have to admit that we do rely on their military protection. We have to be able to tell the truth. It is true. We do hide behind them. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, by the way. And listen, here's the thing that I love in regards to a person like me in my position. I don't have a side. I don't lean left. I don't lean right. I consider myself more conservative, but at the same time, I will vote for whatever side I believe benefits me. Period. And so I don't have to be biased to one side or the other. I really don't. I don't have to have all the answers in regards to politics or anything for that matter, but I could ask the right questions. I could have guests that come on and can answer those questions because things are changing and they're changing fast. We all have questions. We want the right answers. And so I'm going to do the best that I can to help provide that for you and for myself. But anyway, wanted to touch on that quickly because trust me, folks, there's a lot of things that you are going to hear in the next few weeks in regards to Prime Minister Mark Carney going back to Washington, D.C. to have a discussion with President Donald Trump. And we'll see. I said we'll see where that gets us and if any deal at some point will be on the table. But like I mentioned, before I go on to this situation with Kawhi Leonard, I do want to mention that I understand where Prime Minister Mark Carney is coming from. Yes, it is important and it is a big deal, right? They've been yelling about this in the House of Commons since Mark Carney made this comment. Oh, who cares? Well, a lot of people do care because their jobs are on the line. And a lot of people in this country work for American companies and it matters. A lot of them, by the way, have been moving their companies back south of the border because all of the incentives that the White House is promising these companies. And so we do need to take that into consideration, but we'll see what happens in regards to that in the next few weeks. Now, I want to move on quickly to Kawhi Leonard. Because I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but this guy has some real nerve. Some real audacity, to say the least. I'm going to play a video. You guys got to see this. You guys got to see this. And then I'll continue after. Okay? Listen to this. Listen to this.
Just got to get the right lineup.
Damn it. Why are all my videos start in the middle? Probably because I was playing them before. Let me rewind this.
You guys have obviously had some unfortunate circumstances. Like you said, you missed time. Brad's been out for the year. But in previous seasons, that hasn't been totally abnormal for this group to have guys in and out, and they've still kind of found ways to stay around 500 or above 500. What do you think is the difference with this group where it's been such a struggle to kind of sustain some of the blows you guys have taken early?
Just got to get the right lineups on the court, I guess. Get some more talent, play with better talent, and see what happens.
You say get more talent. Is that like internally, externally?
I'm saying like playing better. Like we all just got to play better, make shots, move the ball a little bit more, trust one another, and us get better.
They need to get more talent. They need to get more talent. Coming from a guy who barely plays, by the way. He's rarely on the court. Don't know if he's ever even played an 82-game season. I doubt it. I don't think he ever has. I don't even think he played 40 games last season. This is a guy telling you that they need more talent. You would have more talent if you didn't trade it all for Paul George at your request. Oh man. Let me tell you guys something, man. This Kawhi Leonard, boy, I'm telling you, him and Uncle Dennis, boy, I'm telling you, these guys have some real nerve.
This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this.
Let me tell you something, man. And damn it, you know what? I could be petty here. Maybe I am being petty here, but I need to be at this point. You know why? Because Raptors fans, I'm talking to you guys especially. Do you know why? Do you remember in 2018, 2019 when we traded for Kawhi Leonard and we won the title that year? Do you remember during the regular season? Okay. Do you remember during the regular season when we were playing home games and who was in attendance in the front row? Was it not the owner, Steve Ballmer? Head of operations in Lawrence Frank? We had Kawhi Leonard for one season with the Toronto Raptors. And we couldn't even have him in peace. We could not even have Kawhi Leonard in peace because the Clippers organization was stalking Kawhi Leonard at Raptors games, trying to entice him to head to the LA Clippers, where he ultimately signed. The level of disrespect. Could you imagine Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri, how pissed off they were at that time? Seeing these guys sitting there in the front row, probably taking some secret meetings with Uncle Dennis or some nonsense like that. He did ultimately end up there, did he not? And so now, after this man has been injured season after season after season with the Los Angeles Clippers and all the nonsense that they have been put through with all this other stuff that's been going on in regards to them and these fraudulent payments from what it looks like being funneled to Kawhi Leonard. This is how he decides to answer in the press conference. They need to go out and get more They need to go out there and get more talent. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Exhibit A. Let me show you something right here, folks. I say folks too much. My wife told me stop saying that. You say it too much. Let me show you something, my good subscribers and people. If you're not subscribed, by the way, hit that subscribe button. This is a show for you. Ladies and gentlemen, look at what I'm showing you right now. To get Paul George, they traded the reigning league MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the NBA Finals MVP, Danilo Gallinari, first round pick. That ended up being Trey Mann, Dylan Jones, and another all-star right beside him in Jalen Williams. I mean, are you kidding me? And 2 first-round pick swaps. And Kawhi Leonard is out here saying that he needs more talent. You traded it all. I'm telling you. The audacity of this guy. And so I'm here to say that the Clippers deserve everything they're getting right now. Is that petty? Yes. I don't care. Now, what is going to happen to the Clippers in the near future? I have no idea. I don't know what route they're planning to go. But you didn't have any patience here. You didn't have any patience. And I believe that the coach at the time, who was Doc Rivers, I'm pretty sure I heard him say that he didn't want to trade Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because he knew what was coming. He knew it. He saw it. He was coaching it. He saw what he was going to be capable of. But what does he know? And so I don't feel sorry for the Clippers at all. You didn't want to be patient. You swung for the fences. And listen, do I necessarily blame you? I kind of do. I kind of do. There's nothing I can give you here. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can give you here. You deserve everything you're getting right now. Yes, I'm being petty towards the LA Clippers. But man, you guys have peeved off a lot of Raptors fans for a long time with the way that you were stalking Kawhi Leonard when he was here. After that wonderful, legendary season that he put on for us. Am I still bitter? Does it sound like it? Maybe just a little bit. Now, I have moved on. And by the way, it's been downhill for us ever since that, by the way. We did have one good season after. We went to crap for a few seasons, but it seems like we're back right now. And I am very, very happy about that, ladies and gentlemen. And so, listen, I don't know exactly what the LA Clippers are going to do. Bradley Beal is out for the rest of the season. They do have some good talent. They probably are going to look to make some moves, whether it be a guy like DeMar DeRozan or whoever it's going to be. But at the end of the day, right now, the Clippers, their record is pretty shameful. It's like 5-13, 5-14, whatever it is. You guys are probably done. Maybe you could make some kind of run, maybe head for the play-in or something like that. But as of right now, it is not looking very good. And so whatever you guys have to do to get out of it, I mean, that's on you, ladies and gentlemen. That's on you. But the way that they're playing right now, crickets. Just absolute crickets. Now, the last thing is also a serious topic. I want to get to this. Why am I doing this? Who does this, ladies and gentlemen? You already know which NBA media personality does this and reporter. Not somebody I want to be emulating, by the way. But before I get, you know what? Let's jump into there right now. Let's just jump into this right now. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to talk about this because life in Canada and some of the things that are happening, violence on the streets, couple things that I got to talk to you about, and this is one of them. So let's talk about this quickly. I'm going to share my screen with you so you guys can see this. Let's remove Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's put myself on this side.
Good evening. An 18-year-old man has been identified as the victim of a deadly shooting early yesterday morning, and the alleged shooter was also hit by gunfire.
Investigators have now linked a shooting on King West with the death of the teen who walked into a hospital in North York a short time later. CTV's Sean Leafong is live tonight in North York with the latest. Sean.
Well, Nathan and Michelle, it was 5:23 yesterday morning when an 18-year-old man walked into Humber River Hospital here, and he later died. Police are now alleging that person may have been part of a group that shot at the man who is now accused in his murder.
What was initially reported as a shooting is now known to have been a deadly shootout in Toronto's entertainment district. An 18-year-old man is dead, and a 27-year-old has been charged with second-degree murder. It was 4:45 Tuesday when police received a report of shots fired along King Street just west of Spadina. According to police, a man was approached by a group of men who discharged firearms. That man was struck in the leg. Police going on to say that once he was shot, that man drew a firearm and began shooting back. Toronto police saying the man who was shot in the leg was treated at the scene and was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. At 5:23 a.m., another man, 18-year-old Dylan Adams, was dropped off at Humber River Hospital in North York. Adams died in hospital. Yesterday, despite being asked, police did not reveal that there was a connection between the two.
I can't speak to an exchange of gunfire, whether there was or wasn't one right now. No, right now there's no indication whatsoever that would connect either of the two scenes or locations. If at some point in time that does change, then our members from our homicide and missing persons unit will update the media accordingly.
Police announcing today that 27-year-old Frandy Knoll of Toronto has been arrested and charged with second-degree murder. He was to appear in court this morning. Police would not answer questions regarding this incident today.
And police did not say why exactly the victim ended up here so many kilometers from the shooting scene. Reporting live, I'm Sean Leathong. Nathan and Michelle, send it back to you.
Thank you, Sean.
So this is interesting to me and very unfortunate at the same time, because listen, I don't condone violence by any means. This is a sad story because, and I've talked to you guys about this before in regards to youth and violence. 27 is still very young. The young man who passed away, only 18 years old. But I did call this in some of the episodes that I spoke to you about, maybe even, I would say, a few months back. More people in Canada, because of, I'll talk about the GTA specifically, but it is Canada wide. More people are going to start carrying firearms in Canada. And we're going to see that because I would put it this way. I feel like Canadian citizens at this point don't have any trust in regards to the system, the bail reform, criminals coming out of jail over and over and over again. And I don't know any of the people associated with this. I can't tell you that any of these guys were criminals before this happened. That's not the information that I have. But the information that was given, 5 people, 5, I'm assuming young men, approached this other person, one person, at 4:45 a.m. in the morning. First of all, at 18 years old, you have no business being out there at 4:45 a.m. What the hell are you doing out at 4:45 a.m.? I know you weren't going to work because you and 4 other of your, I'm guessing, homeboys or just brethren, whoever, the people that you were with, it says you approached this man and started firing at him. He gets hit in the leg. He pulls out a firearm, fires back at you, kills this young man, and he goes to the hospital, gets treated. This kid gets dropped off. He passes away. And now he has been charged, with second-degree murder. The question that I have to you watching this video: should he be charged with second-degree murder for this? Should Canadian citizens be able to have a licensed firearm? And if he didn't have that firearm, is he the one who would be getting buried right now? And I'm asking that question because was this guy minding his own business and was approached? Because if that's the problem, that's an issue. And don't tell me it's not a problem. It is a problem. We don't know if these guys were known to each other. That's a problem. If somebody's minding their own business and get approached, get shot at, they then return fire, end up killing someone, by the way, but now they get charged with second-degree murder for defending themselves. That seems problematic. And at some point with the public, it's not going to fly anymore. And so Ontario, Canada overall, they're going to have to look at this. I don't know how much things will change in regards to the law for this, but I told you before, I'm going to tell you again. At some point, people rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. I'm pretty sure you understand what that means. They will take it upon themselves to protect themselves or their family members. There won't be any negotiating for that. They're just going to do what they have to do. And so the government needs to take a serious look at some of the issues that are going on in regards to crime in this country, in this province of Ontario. Now, I'm hoping at some point we get more details on what exactly happened here. Because remember, there was a story in Milton, maybe 2 years back, where the guy got his door kicked in, came in with guns while he was in there with his, I believe, his mother. And he ended up shooting and killing one of the intruders. Now, he did end up going to court and beat the case, but he still got arrested and charged. And so listen, times are changing. And we have to be able to adjust and change with it. That's all I'm saying. That's what I want to talk about in regards to culture and what's going on in regards to the standard of living in Canada. This is a part of it. Something needs to be done, and we need to have conversations about this. At MikeRoach7 on IG, at MikeRoach23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So I will be on here talking politics, talking culture, things going on and in around the country of Canada. I have a wide audience, ladies and gentlemen. These are just things that I enjoy talking about. I'm hoping you guys get in the comments as usual. Let me know if you have something that you want to add to this discussion. Put it down below. I will definitely respond to you. For the most part, I try to get to everyone. As fast as I can. I want to hear what you have to say. I look forward to your opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, until the next episode, this is the latest edition of the Mike Roach Podcast. I will be back again soon. Peace, and I'm out.